On the 30th of January 1933, Adolf Hitler became Chancellor of Germany. He was invited to become leader by the elderly President Paul von Hindenburg, as the Nazis had become the single largest political party in Germany. But how was Hitler able to come to power in Germany by 1933? In preparing for your coursework, there are 6 long-term and short-term factors which serve to explain how Hitler was able to become Chancellor of Germany in January 1933. These include the Treaty of Versailles 1919, his oratorical skills, personality and leadership from 1921 onwards, the Munich Putsch of 1923, the economic depression caused by the Wall Street crash from 1929 onwards, the decision by von Papen and Hindenburg to appoint Hitler Chancellor in January 1933, and the enabling law introduced by Hitler in March 1933. Firstly, the Treaty of Versailles had created a lot of bitterness amongst ordinary Germans. Many Germans had not accepted defeat after the First World War and felt that the Weimar politicians had stabbed Germany in the back. Many more did not accept German guilt for starting the war. Most resented German colonies, land and military power being reduced, with many German-speaking peoples living under foreign rule in newly created countries such as Czechoslovakia. The Nazi Party promised to make Germany great again, and Hitler wrote about his wish to reverse the terms of the Treaty of Versailles in his book Mein Kampf. Many supported this strong stance, and Hitler's hatred of the Treaty of Versailles was to resonate well with ordinary German voters in the years to come. They too wished to see Germany become a powerful nation once again. Secondly, Hitler's oratorical skills, personality and leadership were crucial in securing his rise to power. Since becoming leader of the Nazi Party in 1921, Hitler had developed his skills as a public speaker, with his speeches helping to attract many supporters and increase the membership of the Nazi Party. Hitler had a key characteristic that most other German politicians at the time lacked: charisma. Through his personality and past achievements, Hitler attempted to portray himself as an inspirational leader. He was the war hero, the saviour of Germany, and the ordinary man in the street. He alone was prepared to take on the communist threat, reverse the Treaty of Versailles, and make Germany strong again. In August 1923, Hitler gave a speech where he affirmed, "The day must come when a German government will summon up the courage to say to the foreign powers, the Treaty of Versailles is founded on a monstrous lie. We refuse to carry out its terms any longer. Do what you will. If you want war, go and get it. Then we shall see if you can turn 70 million Germans into slaves. Either Germany sinks, or else we dare to enter on the fight against death and the devil." In November 1923, Hitler attempted to overthrow the government of Munich as part of a military coup or putsch to take control of Germany. Although the Munich Putsch failed in its initial aims, the resulting trial and imprisonment of Hitler eventually proved to be advantageous for the Nazi Party. The trial gave Hitler nationwide publicity and introduced him to the German public via the national press. He insisted that he was only attempting to restore Germany's greatness and was resisting the weak and feeble Weimar government. His speeches attacking both the government and the Treaty of Versailles were reported across Germany and helped increase his popularity. Additionally, whilst in prison, Hitler was able to complete his autobiography, Mein Kampf, which contained his political views and his aims for the future of Germany. The impact of the Wall Street crash of 1929 and the developing economic depression aided the Nazi cause in numerous ways. Unemployment in Germany reached over 6 million, and extremist groups like the Nazi Party became more popular as they promised strong leadership at a time of crisis. The Nazis were able to blame the Weimar government for the economic crisis, asserting that the Nazi Party alone could unite Germany and rescue the country from its economic troubles. Nazi policies and posters promising work and bread resonated well with working-class Germans, with the result that Nazi popularity soared in the 1930 elections. Business owners too supported the Nazi Party during the Depression, as they feared the potential effects of a future communist government. The Nazis were able to capitalise on the economic crisis of the early 1930s, and Hitler was able to portray himself as a credible future leader of Germany. Crucially, in July 1932, the Nazi Party won 230 seats in the Reichstag parliament elections, meaning that they were now the single largest political party in Germany. However, the leader of the Reichstag, Chancellor Franz von Papen, did not give up his office. He planned with German President Paul von Hindenburg to refuse Hitler the post of Chancellor. Both feared what Hitler may do if given a powerful role as head of the German parliament. Von Papen was eventually forced to call further elections for September 1932, where the number of Nazi seats in the Reichstag was reduced from 230 seats to 196. However, the Nazi Party still remained the single largest party in the Reichstag. Eventually, President Hindenburg gave in to Nazi demands and appointed Hitler as Chancellor, with von Papen to continue serving as Deputy Chancellor. Both politicians believed that they could control Hitler. On the 30th of January 1933, Hitler was sworn in as Chancellor of Germany. He had achieved his aim of becoming Chancellor by legal and democratic means. The Enabling Act of March 1933 allowed the Nazi Party to rule without the need for the Reichstag. Between January and March of 1933, the Nazi Party arrested and imprisoned many leading socialist and communist figures. Communist and socialist newspapers were also banned. To secure Nazi popularity, another election was called for March 1933. The Nazis won 288 seats in the Reichstag. Although the Nazis increased the number of seats they held, they still did not hold a majority of seats in the Reichstag. Hitler's next step to ensure the continuation of Nazi power was to pass the Enabling Act through the Reichstag Parliament. This act would give him and his government total control of all laws passed for the next 4 years, and would allow Hitler to rule by decree, bypassing the German Reichstag Parliament. The passing of the act meant the end of democracy in Germany. The Nazi Party was able to pass subsequent laws banning the formation of other political parties, thus removing any opposition to Hitler's regime. As such, a combination of these 6 key long and short-term factors can be shown to be attributable to Hitler's rise to power in 1933. By the end of that year, Hitler and the Nazi Party had secured control of all aspects of the German state. By 1934, Hitler had combined the posts of Chancellor and President and was safe in the knowledge that the army supported him. There could be no challenge to the Nazi state.